Wait a minute, did Erica Mena just blow up the whole love and hip-hop universe in a single sentence? If even half of what she's saying is accurate, then Mendy Harris went from being a reality TV husband to a reality TV baby daddy in a flash. And we assure you that this isn't a staged plot. Rather, it's a chaotic, real-life scandal and a potential paternity case. Hearing the viral bomb, Erica declares she's pregnant, which is cool. But then she drops the grenade, and Mendy realizes he's the father while still. How did this happen? When did they even have time to sneak around? And why did the leaked DNA surface? Yandy Smith's marriage caused the internet to go from side-eyeing to a full-blown breakdown. Rumors, receipts, and emotions are piling up like baby shower presents at the wrong house. Was it a single error or a premeditated betrayal? Is Erica revealing the truth? Or is this her most deliberate move to date? Why hasn't Mendy said anything? Hold on tight, because what you're about to learn could permanently alter your perception of all three of them. It all started with Erica Mena waiting into a storm she made, and what began as a murmur behind closed doors has just escalated into a full-fledged public emergency in the love and hip-hop realm. Depending on your point of view, she is either the antagonist in stilettos or the truth teller. This franchise never deserved her. Here's what happened when Erica walked up at a private. When La Hole was filmed in Atlanta, she appeared composed and patient, with her eyebrows arched in anticipation. However, what really shocked everyone was the name she reportedly murmured to producers when questioned about Mendy's worldwide internet collapse is the baby's father. Yes, Mendy sees the same person who is still legally, spiritually, and publicly associated with Yandy Smith, the same man who claimed to have been a terrible boy in the past. Erica's bombshell exploded the fandom, and within minutes, the hashtag began to circulate. Behind him, the same man whose marriage has been forced onto us like a sponsored skincare line. According to on-set sources who were purportedly trembling from the tension that Erica and Mendy's had been seen experiencing, trending Alleges Mendeecees DC's Dina Chai. Andy deserved a better dot. Strange side chats during production, not flirtatious, not dramatic, just quiet, the kind of silence that's louder than shouting when you're trying to conceal something. But the timeline, yeah. Sources claim that this connection began months ago during a lull in filming, when Yandy had taken some time off to concentrate on her nonprofit. With Yandy preoccupied and one thing led to another, a lengthy talk, a late-night drive, one mistake, and now a baby. This is where it goes from there. Mendy is apparently complaining about his marriage to Erica behind the scenes. The very following morning, after Erica's name began trending on several blogs, we're talking about the sloppy ones with ugly fonts and explosive emojis, shady to downright scandalous, she was seen exiting a Midtown women's health clinic, pocketbook clutched tight hoodie pulled low. One blogger claimed to have seen lab results peeking out of her bag, while another said she overheard Erica talking on the phone, stating, "I already know what it says. I just want him to say it too." However, let's face it, that may imply anything or everything. Hold on, this was just rumor territory. Later that night, a digital copy of what appeared to be a prenatal paternity test began to circulate, causing the leak to turn murmurs into a fire. On Reddit and Twitter, two names were blacked out, but the likelihood was 99. 8% match, and the arrangement is same. People were going crazy about the lab reports utilized in Georgia clinics. One camp claimed that it was photoshopped and that Erica was attempting to make it viral. Mendeecees was unable to refute this claim quickly enough. The entire situation was a publicity gimmick, but another camp thought that every pixel and font match in the seal was authentic. That's the same watermark my cousin's followers had on hers. So they turned into forensic specialists. Nightly side-by-side comparisons, PDF metadata breakdowns, and even analysis from phony doctors on TikTok. But Erica remained silent and just reposted a few inspirational quotes about choosing peace and embracing your truth, our typical soft launch scandal mode, but the internet heard them loud and clear. Meanwhile, Mendy was seen 2 days later. Paparazzi stopped him at the valet as he was leaving a Buckhead restaurant by alone with a hoodie on. When questioned about the rumors, the DNA test, and the pregnancy, he only made a face that wasn't fans zoomed in, slowed down the video, and started decoding. No comment energy that was caught red-handed meets restless night energy, puffy eyes, no ring, clenched jaw, and most notably, no smile. Then, as if in a Marvel film, his body language appeared. Up until that point, Yandy had been uncharacteristically quiet, but insiders disclosed that she had been spiraling behind the scenes, ignoring calls. This isn't just tabloid talk. One close friend reportedly informed a gossip page that she hasn't eaten in days and is hiding herself in her room because she is crying all the time. Erica's assertion was not simply, "Hey, I'm pregnant." It was, "This child is mine, and I'm not hiding it." As a result, the marriage is now collapsing in real time. VH1's producers went into overdrive after one source said that an urgent sit-down recording was being arranged, and another insider stated that Erica was more than happy to appear. In fact, she implied that she wanted it. Yandy flatly refused when Mendy saw that she was still apprehensive, apparently stating that if I showed up, I would utter last mic drop. However, before the cameras even rolled, something else emerged. You can't manufacture that tension in this behind-the-scenes video from last season, as Erica and Mendy are seen standing a little too close, smiling a bit too much, and having their eyes linger for too long. That film, which a fan posted on TikTok, drove supporters into an online frenzy. It wasn't an isolated incident. It had been building, and just when they thought things couldn't get much uglier, a new voice appeared. A woman who claimed to be Mendeecees' former girlfriend entered the discussion and made a mysterious TikTok post that said, "History repeats itself when men don't learn their lesson." She didn't name names since she didn't have to. This wasn't just a plot point anymore. It was a complete collapse. And as the tape was being recorded, the internet did the arithmetic, the rumors, the clinic, the test, the body language, the tears, the X, and the sit-down. As the date drew near, Erica shared a picture of a partially completed baby cot in a dark room with the comment, "Getting ready whether he steps up or not, Mick broken." Fans were shaken by the crib photo, but Erica Mena's next move split the internet in two. Suddenly, a teaser for a popular podcast appeared on Instagram, a blurry video. "I didn't want it to come to this, but I won't be hushed any longer." The teaser received 1 million views in less than 3 hours. Fan. Picture Erica sitting in a dim room with her hood up and her voice barely above a whisper. Pages went viral. Podcast hosts everywhere were giddy with anticipation, and even verified celebrities began to weigh in. Everyone wanted the whole confession, and when it came out, no one was interested. I didn't anticipate any of this, but Erica began to tremble her voice as she sat in the episode without any glitter, filters, or sound effects. Just her in her truth, or at least her perspective of it. Wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. And now I have to deal with it. The host, who was visibly stunned, leaned in and asked, "Are you acknowledging?" She interrupted, "I'm pregnant, and I didn't want to reveal it publicly. I tried to speak with him, I contacted him, and I pleaded with him to deal with this privately, but he ignored me and left me. Now, here we are." She took a breath. The room was completely quiet, and I didn't. We bonded, and he was venting and unhappy. One thing led to another, and I know it was wrong. I'm not making excuses, but I won't let my child to grow up like that. Line went global in a matter of seconds, allowing my child to grow up as someone's secret. I was cited, and it became a full-fledged TikTok craze. Meanwhile, Mendeecees is still radio silent and continues to act as though nothing is burning around him, but Yandy, oh, she was done hiding, went live a few hours after the podcast aired. Her face was pale and her eyes were puffy. She started to look straight into the camera, but her voice was sharper than ever. "I know y'all want answers," she said, "but honestly, I don't have them. I found out like the rest of you online through the gossip." Her fingers shook while she held the phone, but she persisted, saying, "I've held through the comments through a podcast that wasn't even supposed to involve my name. Her family through everything. Prison, the media, hate, falsehoods, and now this baby with her. And I'm the last to know that admirers flocked to her live stream with support staff. You deserve better, Yandy Queen Vigor. But the anguish was evident, and I had faith in us." She went on, "And I'm now attempting to discern what was genuine and what was really a show-off comment." Area became a battleground, with some accusing Erica and others dragging Mendeecees. However, everyone agreed that Andy didn't deserve this, so they immediately returned to the network chaos VH1. Insiders said that the producers were virtually licking their lips when they approved the emergency taping. This wasn't just drama, it was ratings gold. The idea was to have Yandy and Erica Mena appear in the Guess What? All 3 agreed. Technically, Mendeecees hesitated, but it was the same room. No moderator, no artificial setting, just unfiltered, raw discourse with a few cameras rolling like it was Judgment Day. If you don't show up, you'll look guilty. If you do, maybe you can control your narrative, the producers apparently warned him. And with that, the most. The team described the morning of the taping as tense, with security doubled and no phones or help. Just 3, setting in motion the most anticipated sit-down in love and hip-hop history. Seats and a ticking emotional time bomb. Erica arrived first, wearing a black outfit and displaying a peaceful, quiet tummy that was just enough to remind everyone why they were doing this. She took her seat with her hands. 10 minutes after she trembled while holding her phone and swiping through encouraging direct messages like armor, Mendy arrived, pacing tensely, furious, and anxiously, without even looking at Erica. His body. Language conveyed that he was besieged, with a PR team whispering in his ear. He then arrived 15 minutes late, dressed entirely in white, without cosmetics or a team, just fury and high heels. Didn't say anything to anyone, sitting across from Erica as if she was getting ready to end a relationship rather than fight, for one. When the cameras rolled and nobody said anything, Erica eventually broke the silence. So we, whether I'm doing this or not, Mendeecees looked up and breathed. I'm not even sure where to begin. Yandandy's arms crossed. Perhaps Erica nodded. I've already told my side that I'm not here to fight. I'm here to argue because I believe that my child should know who their father is, and that the world should know what a wonderful man he is. The room titan Mendy sees a low, slender voice. And you didn't deny it. You didn't even respond. You ignored it. You ghosted her. You ghosted me. And now you're sitting there. Denied the baby. I said the issue was messy and it's Yandy rolling her eyes. Here, you're acting as though you were the one who was harmed by Erica interjecting. I provided you time, space, and a chance to deal with this privately, but you decided to act naive as though you were unaware. What happened was that I just showed here with a baby for drama, and while you were out here doing this, I stayed by you when no one else would, and now I'm just fighting for us. The two of them appear obviously upset when I admit that I'm sharing my spouse with a storyline. I'm not proud of what I did, but none of this was meant to be made public. Erica chuckled and said, "You didn't want to handle it at all. You wanted me to disappear, but guess what? I'm still here." Then, she took a folder from her. These are the official results. She passed the folder across the table, and Mendy stared at it for a moment before opening it. There was a pause. No blinking, no sound, and then he looked up to see that it was mine. The words hung like Erica didn't even blink. She had known the truth all along. What now? Smoke in the air, no denial, no spin, just confirmation. Yandandy closed her eyes and exhaled as if she had been punched in the chest. Are you still planning to ghost? Erica questioned. I'm not going anywhere, Mendy said, rubbing his temples and trembling. I'll accept responsibility, but this is what really makes a difference. You had one job, to be honest, and you couldn't even accomplish that. That's why she eventually started crying. I'm not pleading for your forgiveness. I never intended to hurt you, but don't hold it against me. I've been degraded, betrayed, and lied to, yet you still get to sit there and pretend that I'm the victim. I'm done talking. I'm done battling you two. Straighten out your mess. I need peace. After shaking her head and saying, I need peace, she left the stage as the producers shouted out to her for a respite. But the harm was already done when Yandandy left with a shaking, high-headed voice and mascara running down her cheeks. It wasn't simply a splashy departure, though. It was the sound of outside the studio. Pape swarmed like bees to a flame as the chapter slammed shut loudly, emotionally, and irrevocably. Yandandy didn't say a word, but her silence was louder than any press. Are you leaving him? A reporter questioned after the release. She didn't have to respond because Erica was sitting by herself in a chair inside that building. Using one hand to massage her stomach and the other to wipe away a tear, the woman who had previously lit the internet on fire now appeared worn out, not from embarrassment, but rather from bearing the burden of an. Mendeecees attempted to speak about the entire controversy by himself, but his voice broke before he could finish, and he slumped down in defeat, muttering, "This isn't what I wanted." Erica gave him a frigid stare, but it was your actions that caused the sit-down to end. The harm was irreparable, but the tale was only getting started because of the hours-long release of video from the video showed Yandy storming out and Eric throwing the DNA folder on the table, along with the hashtags sex exploded, D not confirmed, and menses exposed done, began to circulate. Another included Erica carrying the folder with the remark, "She didn't come to play, she came with paperwork Mendy," and Yandy wearing a crown with the lines, "Still the queen even after the storm." However, his page was inundated with comments from families accusing him of cheating, lying, and ghosting them. Congratulations on the kid. Condolences on your character. But on the same night that Erica's baby shower was canceled, vendors pulled out, citing scheduling conflicts, but let's face it, they didn't want the cameras there. The drama didn't end with the internet. Her close friends still came up at her flat with cupcakes, flowers, and a small cake that said, "Mama first always," despite the chaos and uproar. Erica grinned, truly grinned for the first time in weeks. But when she attempted to resume her usual life, Yandy disappeared, leaving no posts, articles, or sightings. According to those close to her, she dropped off the radar. One insider informed a site that Yandy was living at a close friend's house with her kids, saying, "She's broken, angry, and vengeful, but she's just tired. She's not answering calls, not even from family." Desperate for closure, the network attempted to contact Yandy for a follow-up interview, but Mona received no response at all. "You don't have to speak, Yandy, but the world needs to see you, even if it's just for 5 minutes, even if it's just to say goodbye," Scott herself said in a voicemail that was later leaked. Said, "I've made mistakes and hurt people I care about, but I'll never turn my back on my mistakes." Mendy saw this and attempted to repair the damage by posting a lengthy statement on his Instagram story that was entirely text and no photos. "Children, including the one on the way, please respect our personal space while we work this out in private." After Erica gave birth to a baby, fans stopped buying it. Girl with a full head of hair, healthy and attractive. She posted a black and white picture of the baby's hand around her finger with the message, "She's here and," without tagging Mendy. "She is my strength." Mendy discovered this through a third party. He contacted and texted, pleading for her to come see the baby. Erica responded with 5 words. "Not right now, she needs peace." However, the tranquility was short-lived when a hospital nurse allegedly disclosed Erica's birth to a blog. And within an hour, word spread that Erica had given birth to Mendy's baby Yandy. The timing couldn't have been worse. Yandy had just begun to regain her footing again, working with her organization, reestablishing her connection with herself, and the headline was nasty, loud, and viral. She didn't publicly reply when her name was once again in the newspapers, but a close friend claimed that she sobbed when she saw the baby's picture online. Not from jealousy, but because it became official. This was no longer a rumor, no longer a test, and it was a permanent VH1 producer's attempt to boost viewers for a special episode on Eric's birth. Erica refused to include it in the next chapter due to Yandy's silence, and only Mendy acknowledged that his solo portion was disorganized and that he talked of becoming a father, once again explained his desire to do the right thing and his healing and learning process. But the fans didn't believe him. The harsh remarks were made, and if you were healing, you wouldn't have harmed them both in the first place. The network changed course again, this time proposing a co-parenting redemption storyline and doing a series about growth therapy and rebuilding. Another baby, another apology. You can't fix what you kept breaking. "No, Yandy blocked the producer's number," said Erica, laughing. Mendy saw that, but without them, he had no story. He was the mess, not the message. Weeks went by, became quiet. The internet discovered a new story to gorge on. But behind the scenes, the fallout was still happening, and Mendeecees reached out once more, this time with toys for the baby and flowers for Erica. Lengthy handwritten note for Yandy that was leaked weeks later. "I know I failed you, and I know I ruined everything, but I never stopped loving you. Let me prove to you that I am capable of being better." Yandy read the letter and sobbed once more, but this time she did so out of tiredness rather than sadness, because she was tired of carrying the burden and being the glue. It wasn't for us or the kids. She didn't respond when the person left to pick up the pieces of something she didn't even smash. Made the announcement that there would be a surprise reunion episode one night with no filters. Retakes of old behind the scenes. Drama without moderators. And indeed, all three had agreed that Mendeecees strolled in first, wearing a sweatshirt on tense. Then Erica entered, followed by a baby and a toe surrounded by love but still cautious. And then, just when everyone thought she wouldn't show up, Yandy entered the room with her head held high, dressed in black by herself. The room fell silent, and she sat down, looked straight ahead, and said, "I'm here." Not for the drama, not for the fans, not for closure. And at that instant, it was about finally moving past betrayal, blame, or even a baby. Letting go, because sometimes the loudest endings don't involve yelling, but just leaving. And Yandy did just that after speaking her truth and hearing theirs. Kissed her children's names on her wrist, left the set, and when the lights went down, the cameras rolled and the credits began to fade on the internet. There was a breakdown, a quarrel, and then peace. Did not blow up this time, did it? It became silent because, for the first time, everyone realized that this was genuine and not simply reality TV. Now that the dust has settled, or has it, we must ask the question issue no one wants to confront. Who is truly at fault? Is Erica a home wrecker? Or is she simply fed up with being ignored? Did Mendeecees make a mistake? Or did he fabricate a story and hope no one notices? Observed. And what about Yandy? Was she clinging to a falsehood or battling for love? After all, this wasn't simply a messy scenario. It was a collision of shame, silence, and secrets. Given that an innocent child was born in the midst of all, can we forgive Mendy for ultimately coming clean? Do we think Erica truly desired privacy after going full podcast? We want all the smoke. In confession mode, do you think Yandy owes everyone forgiveness, or has she earned the right to leave without ever looking back? Please share your ideas in the comments below. Team Yandy, Team Erica, or are you all done with Mendeecees for good? Please remember to like and subscribe to this video for more explosive breakdowns. Ring since we assure you that this story isn't. But not by any means, and if you believed that this was crazy, but wait until you listen to the person who is supposedly slide DMs from Erica. We'll see you in the Stay Woke, Stay Dirty, and stay in the next video, observing.